Nothing easy, man. Jesus Christ. Nothing easy ever. My God. Nothing is ever easy, man.
This game, like
Yeah, like
fucking hell, bro.
no. He's doing like some of the stupidest shit out there, man. My
Bro,
God,
all
like
game long, I'm thinking, all right, he played bad 3 quarters. He's gonna come in this fourth quarter. He's gonna take us home. This nigga's playing even worse. I'm like,
so so my daughter sends me a ticket, right? And I'm one of them was like Steph plus 30, and I'm like, there's no way he's gonna get 30.
no,
So said, so done. I knew it, bro. Back to back.
bro, this is bad. Like, what the fuck is he doing? He missed 2 straight free throws. I knew this shit was cooked, bro.
Yeah, man. Like, what in the actual fuck is he doing? Like, God, thank God, damn, win the game. Shit, man. Like,
Somebody said this stuff was gonna have a bad game, and
Oh,
I
fuck,
definitely like trash talked them. I want to apologize to whoever that was last night that said that.
fuck, bro. Oh my
nah,
god.
man. I knew this shit was coming, man. Like, I knew the bad game was coming.
Bro, I would have been so pissed at Steph. I would have had a whole rant on that motherfucker because Draymond gives you 20, Clay gives you 35, fucking, and you can't take us home, bro. Like, fuck.
Nah, man. He's doing some of the dumbest shit, man. I swear to God, man. Shit's crazy, bro.
But that was a good look from
They
Sexton.
better
Jesus
foul,
Christ.
It
man.
was a good look, man. Like I knew he
Fuck,
fouled, but you know what? It's
bro.
all good.
Bro,
Oh my god.
my heart almost just sank when Colin Sexton
Bro, I
shot
can't
that, bro.
breathe. I
Thank
Man,
you,
can't
John
Holy
breathe.
Collins.
shit.
man, turn my
Okay,
wheel.
okay,
Bro, I can't.
y'all in the future, y'all got me covered. That was
Man,
way
Hold
too.
on, hold on. I told y'all give Clay grace.
All right.
Hey, he
hey,
cooked.
no, hey,
Urkel
I
No,
cooked,
told
man.
you,
Bro.
Urkel cooked. What can I say?
Clay
Urkel
off the
I
cooked.
bench
told
though.
you,
He's
Bro.
going against the
Clay.
second unit guys, and he's
I
cooking those
told you,
fucking
bro.
dudes, bro. I love
Clay
it.
Alexander
I have a question.
Thompson. Grace given. There you go.
Cooked.
So my question is like, did y'all expect this from Utah, considering that they lost against the Lakers,
A
against
hundred
us?
percent, I
Yes,
expected it.
yes,
Absolutely.
bro.
Utah's a
They
good
were on a
team. Utah's a good
three-game
team,
losing
bro.
streak, bro. They were on a 3-game losing streak right before All-Star break, back to back at home for them. Like it was they needed a win badly, bro, and they were going for it tonight.
Bro,
Keontae
they're a
George
good
made
team.
9 threes, bro. That shit crazy.
I said it on draft night when I said Keontae George. When niggas trying to tell me about Jordan Poole, I said Keontae George is gonna be a better player than Jordan Poole. I got cooked on draft night for that shit, but I don't look so dumb now.
But dude, I can't
Bro,
keep doing this,
he
bro. The Warriors be taking years off my life, bro. Shit
bro, the
crazy.
man could not
Sarchich,
miss, man. He could
I
not
Sarchich
was
miss,
on
man.
stressed, man.
defense. I don't. Sarchich is just. I. I don't know.
We won, 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 we won.
On
I
a back to
repeat,
back, by the
we
way.
won.
Yes,
We
sir.
won. We
Yes, we
won.
did.
We're over 500. Please,
One and
guys.
zero.
I'm
Over
One and
begging you.
500
zero.
All Star
I'm
break. That's
begging
all
you,
that
man.
matters.
I'm begging you. I'm
True.
begging you. Please, not tonight, man.
Mm-hmm. 1-0 in the Clay bench era, man. Let's go. Let's go.
This game literally put
We
like
up,
50 years on my
B.
life, dog.
I don't, bro. That was crazy. But Clay was doing his thing, bro. He was cooking.
So happy
Fucking
for him.
Draymond was cooking.
We got
It's
the
like Kerr was just listening to the playbacks. Like, all right, let me do these the Sarge
So
and
I told
TJD
you.
together, like y'all said. All right, let me do Clay off the bench, like y'all said.
So I told you that it was a confidence thing with Clay. You know what I'm saying? Like, look how much more confident he looked tonight. You know, he right like he wasn't doing the drifting shit and all of that stuff. Like, bro, he just shot the ball. You know what I'm
he
saying?
was squaring up it. He was squaring up his shot,
Yeah,
bro.
man.
Going straight up.
Guys, I'm gonna be honest. We just have to build. We just have to build. Our team defense just needs to get better, and we gotta build. I love pods. I love, but I promise you, no fucking rookie is starting in the NBA playoffs. It's just not fucking happening. He's 6'4". Clay is 6'7". Let's use our brain here. Like I
That's
don't care
under.
how bad he's playing. We gotta use our brain here. There's
Shadow,
no
what are you
way
talking about?
that Pods is going to fucking start in the playoffs.
So
That's
do you
It
want
understandable,
what
but
depends
Okay,
happened
on how
then
the
last
let's
rest of the
time?
be
season
Shut up in
go.
fighters.
No,
Wait,
no, no,
2013
no.
no,
when
It
let's not
Harrison
be
depends
Bar- a
on how the
rookie
rest of the
Harrison
season
Barnes
goes.
started for the
This is
playoffs last
regular
year.
season. We can do
Insulta.
whatever in regular season. Let's not be stupid here, man. Come on, man.
Shadow, do you want another
Brother, we
14 for
did the same thing.
Goldie.
56?
Goldie. I gave you a Bly. We did the same thing with Wiggins. And Wiggins, when he got a little bit more healthier, was one of the best POAs in the entire fucking league.
But
And
That's
do
we
an
were
you
ready
injury
to
think
though,
tack him up
man.
and
Isn't
That's an
spit him
Wiggins
out,
injury.
shadow?
bro.
That's an
Clay,
injury.
Wiggins
Wiggins is not
fucking was on the
Wiggins.
bench 11 games. And it was
Wiggins was an
stupid.
all-star
We
2
went
years
3
ago.
for 8.
Clay
Shadow, let me ask you a
literally
question.
went 14 for 56 over the last 4 games of the last playoffs.
I know,
Why
but
is it a guarantee that
brother,
he
the
needs to be the
last
starter?
thing we need to worry about is Clay shooting. It's stupid. You could say
Well,
whatever
Clay's
about
shooting
Clay's
is why we didn't
defense.
get past the Lakers.
But that's then.
We're still holding on to that.
Brother, how many defenders do we have on our team currently right now?
I don't know,
Like
3,
3 or 4.
4.
So which 4? Name me 4
Draymond,
defenders on the Golden State Warriors.
Draymond,
Draymond,
Wiggins,
Wiggs, GP2,
And that's
Pods.
it. That's it. Cut it out.
Mm-hmm.
Let me
Cut it
ask
out.
you a
that's
question
That's
it.
though.
it.
and
Let me
That's
ask
it.
you a
That's
question.
it.
That's it.
But
So
don't
what
you
I'm
think?
saying is, hold on.
That's it.
What I'm saying is, everybody got it. Once everybody steps up into the defensive prowess and digs in on the defensive side, we will become the championship team we need to be. That's all we're missing. We
But
scored
yeah.
140 points damn near with our eyes closed. That's
Sure,
scoring is
sure,
not
but
the problem.
all right, but
Making
Shadow,
shots is not the problem. It's fucking who can we stop? Every game
I
we've
agree.
lost is because we've given up leads and we can't make a stop. Stop talking about offense, guys.
Right, but
Wait,
here's my question,
bro,
right?
even when you get a
Hold
stop,
on.
you're not
Yo, Rose,
punishing.
chill. Like, I was trying to speak, man. Come on. All right, Shadow, let me ask you this, man. If you're saying that Clay needs to start in the playoffs, right? And
Thousand
it looks
percent.
okay, but it looks like what's happening is that there's a shift to the bench, and then it's
No,
probably going to end
that
up.
shit's over. He'll be starting at the Lakers game, so I
Okay,
have no
But
fucking
Shadow
clue.
so
though, don't
That
you
but
shit's
see,
finished.
that's
think though, like can they take the approach? Remember when Steph Curry started like off the bench in 2022? Yeah, he had
I
an
know, but that's
injury.
Steph. Steph asked for that.
But
Steph
what
asked
you
for that
have to
because Clay and
understand is
Jordan
that
Poole
don't
were
you think
arguing.
Pods like
No,
could
bro.
like start in the first
Listen,
round?
Caprice. No, Pods has no right to start on the fucking. He doesn't even defend. What games are you
stop,
watching? Because
stop.
he runs back like a fucking jackrabbit and gets in front of someone and takes a charge. That's the defending. Everybody shoots over him like he's a lawn chair, dog. He was fucking getting cooked. Who do you think was guarding Colin Sexton?
We just won, Shadow. We just won. We
No,
just
but what I'm
won.
saying
We
is all
just
this Clay
won.
stuff
We
and
just won.
ranting,
We
bro.
just won.
They didn't deserve
Guys,
to win that
we
game. I'm
are
gonna be
all
honest.
on the same team. We want Clay to do well. When Clay does well, we are a better team. Simple. We
I
shouldn't be
don't get.
cheering
Shadow,
him to
I don't think
go to the bench
anybody's
and do all that. We won. But what I'm saying needs to fix is our defense in the fourth quarter. Because we have 3 defenders on our team. 2.5 because GP2 doesn't play enough. To be honest with you, I'm starting GP2 over Prods in the playoffs. Me. Shit's a joke, bro.
I, mm,
Kid can't defend, bro.
So what are we doing with Kaminga in the playoffs? Like that pass in the fourth quarter, 1 minute
No,
left.
Kaminga does see that's the youth.
He
That's
needs to
the
get his
youth.
shit
And
together, bro.
he was trying to figure out how to get others involved because he wasn't having the game that he needed to have. But it's okay because this was an integral win. It closed out the first half of the season. Now we have a second half of the season, which is much easier than our first half. And I'm predicting we probably go 8-2, 9-1. Worst case scenario, 7-3. I'm more hoping for 8-2, 9-1. First 10 games. First 10 games out puts us right into the playoffs. That we have to take it. We have 29 games. We have to go in 10-game increments. So the first 10 games, if we can go 8-2, 9-1, that catapults us into the 6th seed, and we can battle to between 6 and 4 and see who wins, who loses. Because it seems to be everybody. Like we're watching Milwaukee Bucks go on a skid. We're watching Philadelphia 76ers go on a skid. These were teams that were like 1-2
Sacramento.
in Sacramento going on a skid. So it's not just that we're going to be winning. Other teams are going to be losing. No, everyone's not going to stand pat. Some people have a harder schedule. Like for instance, the Lakers.
Yeah,
Their
their March
schedule is
schedule.
crazy.
Their
You
March
understand what I'm
schedule
saying?
is tough, bro. Their March schedule
Yes.
is not
But
easy.
listen to me, guys. If you guys are interested in getting bounced in the second round, then we can continue doing what we're doing. Other than that, everybody has to step up to the defensive party. Our only issue, literally, is defense.
Shadow, it's about who's playing the best. That's it. I don't care. I don't care about experience. I don't care about any of that. I don't care about 6'7" versus 6'4". Nigga, it's about who's playing best. If Clay is shooting us out of a playoff game, put that nigga on the bench. Period.
No, but it is what it is. Just like, did
No,
you
no,
guys see Jonathan
no, but,
Kaminga didn't
no.
close?
This whole half of the
Look,
season,
look,
bro.
look. For
This
instance,
whole half
tonight
of the
Jonathan
season, bro,
Kaminga didn't close.
has been about using our eyes and not letting Clay be the reason we lose games, bro. If he's shooting us out of a game, he's on the bench.
But Clay is far from the reason today that the weight game was close.
Obviously, but we
Tonight,
talking about the first 50 games of the season, B.
I know that
We're not talking about tonight. We're talking
them
about the
day they're
first 50
done.
games of the season, dog.
That's over. We have to look forward. We have to look forward, and looking
Okay,
forward.
you
I'm telling
doing the
you.
Clay stand thing.
Okay, you tell me
He has
you
one
tell me
great
what's
game, and
wrong with
that's
our team
great,
right now. You
huh?
tell me what's wrong with our team and why our team's 500. Give me a breakdown.
Bro, I completely agree with you. I didn't say anything about who's playing better right now. I said whoever is playing best at that point in time should get the minutes. Period. We're
I
not going to
completely, I
experience. We're not going to
completely,
height, whatever. Whoever is
I
playing best, bro.
completely agree. But right now, as
We're not
I'm
waiting for Clay to
sitting
have
here
one good
and
game
I
to
have
win
a
20
50
games.
game sample size,
Come on, B.
Clay is a cone on defense, but Pods ain't much farther behind him. But this is what I'm trying to tell you. Clay made 2 stops at the end. Clay has the capability to do what Pods can do on defense, but Pods does not have the capability to do what Clay does on offense. How is that hard to see?
Their offensive production, their offensive output is pretty much even at this point. It may come in different skill sets,
It's not even nothing close.
but
They're
the
not even
playmaking,
close.
But it is
the
though,
playmaking
Hold
of
on.
Pods,
because
14 years
every
under
stat
Shadow,
Jonathan.
we
bro.
have the
Pods
sample
That's like
size.
playmaking,
comparing Looney's
and
athleticism. That's like comparing Looney's athleticism to
The pro
Kaminga. That's how far
Shadow, I
apart they
think
are
you're
Shadow. The
looking
offensively.
at
problem is that you're still basically like waiting, hoping that Clay is just gonna magically become 2019 Clay. Like it's not. We
No, we
have
don't
a
even need him
large
to be
sample
that.
size.
We don't
That's
even
that.
need him to do that. I'm not even asking for him to do that. My thing is, Clay, you guys watched the 35 points today. I watched the fact that Clay made 2 or 3 key stops. That's what I was watching.
Shadow, I think you're
And
looking
that
at
helps our
it.
team.
I
But
don't think you're
yeah,
looking
he
at it
had
the
two
right
two
way.
key stops last game too. Like he.
Shadow,
Go
I
ahead,
think you're
Gordon.
looking at it too much in the sense of like who can produce the most when they're at their best. The thing with Clay has always been the terrible decision making at key times and just throughout the game in general. And Pods like makes a lot less mistakes. He doesn't hijack the offense entirely. And even if his defense isn't stellar, it is better than
thank you,
Clay's.
man. Thank you, dog.
No, it's
Wow.
not, bro. It is
We have,
not.
Guys,
yeah.
He
come on,
gets
man.
If you
drives
talking
sometimes.
about, if you
Pods
talking
ain't
about
that much,
sample size,
bro.
if you
Look,
talking about sample size, we got
Someone,
a hell
someone
of a
like
sample size from the
Bro,
season,
Pods
dog.
is amazing, but
Pods has
he's
Clay
a
been
has
way
not
cone
been
more
on the
playing
top of
better
the
consistent,
than
bro.
key,
Pods.
bro. He's a
Bro,
cone
Pods has
too,
been way
man.
more consistent this year, bro. And that's just facts. He's been
Clay
way
has
more
not been
consistent
better
game
Hold
than
to
on,
game,
Pods,
hold on,
dog.
hold
man.
on. The fact that we're having this debate in and of itself is a problem. Like this just shows that this team has issues at the shooting guard spot, man. And if we can't get consistent run from whoever's in that position, then it's going to handicap us regardless. So what we need to figure out is Clay had a great game tonight. I would say on both ends he was pretty good. How do we get Clay to play like that more consistently? That's the challenge. And if we can answer that question, then I think we'll be in a good spot. Now Steph looked like he wanted to go home, bro. He looked like he wanted to go to the All-Star game and he looked like he was done. So he kind of coasted throughout the game. Draymond played well. Loon looked unplayable. Saric looked pretty good offensively, but defensively, again, obviously his limitations. Trace looked good. I don't know why Steve didn't play Trace at all in the second half, or maybe he did, but it was like for a short spurt. It just wasn't like enough at all. Kaminga had a rough game, but you can't. He's 21, bro. Like you think he's gonna be your second option all year long? It's just tough, right? Again. There's
I
a
mean, we
reason.
killed Clay and Pods, but Kaminga, he should have no excuse not to play defense, if we being honest.
He was
And
he
we all
was
love
yeah,
Kaminga.
he was getting beat. A lot of it was off ball stuff. It wasn't even on the ball as much. It was the off ball, just like kind of awareness and stuff. Who else? Pods was good. I think he could have been better defensively. I think he could have been better in some areas, but I thought he was okay as a starter. Wiggins was great. Actually, Wiggins was pretty good both ways, both ends of the court.
Do you know who dropped the ball tonight? It was fucking Steve Kerr. It's the
Yeah,
rotations, man.
yeah.
It's like I don't know, man. It's just like if he could just hone in and fix the rotation. It's not hard. Like, can we all tweet at the same time? Like, whoever the best player is, match him to Wiggins'
Well, think about
minutes.
this. Think about
Like,
this though. When Chris Paul comes back, that's going to complicate things even further, right? I mean, to some extent. I mean, because Steve is going to have to manage.
I just think Lester and those guys ain't gonna play. I personally don't think GP2 plays enough. I think there was a stretch of probably like 9 minutes that I didn't see that man touch the floor. Like, it's like we got to lean defense, man. The second we lean defense, like, don't get me wrong, offensively, like we're in our bag, bro. But the problem is when the fourth quarter comes, we got to figure out what's the fourth quarter lineup, what's the rotation. Today he tried something different, right? In the third quarter, and it was working a bit, right? And he tried something different. But then Wiggins, like Draymond and Steph came in at the same time, which was different. You understand what I'm saying? Which was like, he's trying things. But then when you get into the last 5 minutes, it's like, what do we do? It's like it seems like every single game it turns into a barn burner. We could be up 15, we could be up 17, we could be up 12, and it's just a barn burner. But outside of the defensive stuff, which people have to step up in, I'm proud of how these guys are playing now. They're playing with a sense of pride, and they're trying to dig in and make it happen. Right now, this is one win. I think we could. I've looked at that schedule. I think we could win 4 more in a row, easy. 5. We keep doing 5, lose 1, win 3, maybe lose 1, win 4. But then we're in the mix. All we need to do is really. I'm a fan of, like, I think the 4th spot is like a super reach. We really need help, but I think the 6th and 5th we could get to pretty comfortably because I'm confident that we're gonna probably win. Like, I don't think we'd lose more than 9 games going out, and we add 20. So what are we're 20? We're at 47 wins. At 47 wins, I don't think everybody's gonna do what they do and continue to win. So I think we'll be in a good spot. Anybody we match up with, we're good, man. Like, I don't fear nobody. But we just need to get into a rhythm defensively. On the offensive level, bro, we scored 140 like nothing. Wiggins had fucking Lowry marketing 1 for 13. He goes to the bench, then Lowry starts cooking. Like, who's going to step up and guard him? I think even though Trace is young, I think even if Wiggins is resting for 3 minutes, Trace got to be in there for those 3 minutes, man. Like, he could guard like a Lowry or whatever. Or if it's a guard Wiggins is guarding, then it has to be GP2. That's the problem. It's the first options, be first and second options, whatever, quote unquote, they be killing us. Like Paul George and Harden. Paul George was quiet. Wiggins goes to the bench. Paul George cooks for 15 points while he's on the bench. And I think that's Wiggins' position. Like, what he does. Like, Wiggins is going to score. If he gets the ball, he's going to give you 17 to 20. Problem is, Wiggins don't get the ball. But it's okay. You understand what I'm saying? If he gets the ball, he's going to score. But I'm not even worried about that because I know when he digs down and he defends, he is super elite. Nobody does that to Lauri Markkanen, bro. Lauri Markkanen was in hell. You understand what I'm saying? But then Wiggins can't be on Colin Sexton if he's on Markkanen. So that's our issue. That's just our issue. It ain't
Shadow.
Pods, it ain't Clay, it ain't thing. It's the fact that when Wiggins and Draymond are on the bench, we are compromised currently.
Shadow.
Yes, Max. How you doing?
What's up, guys? Good night. First, I just want to say thanks to Urkel for saying on the timeline, give grace to Clay. And I appreciate you in the chat room tonight saying give grace to Clay because majority of this fan base is so disgusting on the timeline and the things that they say about Clay for how long we've been watching Clay grow up with the Warriors team base and the way how you guys do him on the timeline. I wonder when gonna come as Warriors fan because trust me, on a terrible. On a say some things about the man, like what all of them something they for? Them something unnecessary, brother. On a need for do them something there to the man, yo. On a fucked up man, and I need to stop it, man. Like it come like on the fan base is so terrible on the timeline sometimes. Like give the people them grace, yo. Wanna stay so
Well, Max, he stepped up. He stepped up today.
Wait,
So
why are people
he
thumbing
yes,
stepped
he
up
down?
today. So
did.
he was quiet. They were quiet today.
Wait,
So
wait, why are people thumbing down?
Until after time until after the All Stars, then back at it again on the timeline. Like yo, no need to stop it, man.
Why are
Like
people
come
thumbing
on, give
down?
grace to everybody because if y'all are a part of the fan base as it is, and everybody soon a tweet pop up on the timeline, like yo, come on,
Why
people.
are people
Some
thumbing
people have
down?
some disgusting
I'm thumbing
things.
down because I like I'm not trying to hear like I can't like be mad at Clay for playing like
I
shit.
know,
No,
but Clay
it's
was
not about playing.
sensational
Like,
today, though.
A
listen,
lot of
Clay
y'all
was
been
nobody
doing
not.
sensational,
trashing
Goldie.
people
So we
though.
need to.
We gotta be
Well,
real.
okay, if he's
We're
bad,
not saying not to hold him accountable, but are some of the things that you say on the timeline, that's not only the person game accountable. Some of the
What
things that you guys
specifically
say on the
is off
timeline.
limits? What specifically is not is too far?
Like y'all attacking the man character and stuff like that. What's wrong with you? Like, come
Who's
on.
attacking Clay's character?
Troll
Who's
accounts
attacking
maybe,
his
but nobody's
character?
attacking his character. It's always been
Yeah,
Wait,
about the
so
player.
No, that's
hello. I can
bullshit.
show the
You
hold
gotta
tweets.
on.
do.
Hey, the tweets are there.
Let's have a conversation,
Are you
right?
talking
Hold on, let's
about
have a conversation, right? So when you say attacking his character, can you specifically name like what exactly about his character? Are we saying he's selfish? Is that what you're saying?
Dre, that's have you not seen on the timeline? Have you not seen the comments on the timeline? Are you
But
saying that they're only are you
no,
hold
no,
on? Are
no.
you saying that they're only
But that's
attacking his
one for
anecdotal
game?
example?
evidence, though. Like that's
You're
not. You could just
just
pick out
saying,
tweets
yeah,
for
like give the
anything,
evidence.
really, and say that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the problem with that. Like you could pick out tweets that you see. I could pick out a bunch of negative tweets, but I know they're from troll accounts, and then so I ignore them. You know,
But that's
like
what
Like
I'm
if
asking. All right. So you're saying that majority of these negative things that are not coming
No,
from these fan base, they're coming from troll accounts then.
no.
no,
What
that's
I'm
not what he's
asking is,
saying.
what is forget even what's like. I'm asking specifically, what is the line? Like, is saying that he's
Dre,
selfish?
Dre, Dre. You know what? Guess what?
Mm,
Let's just say there is no line. Let's just say the original, because I can feel what Max is saying, because the same thing happened to Wiggins. So
No, thank
I'm gonna
you.
be like this. Say whatever you want about Wiggins. Say whatever you want about Clay. But guess
mm.
what? If he has a good game, don't be silent. That's the problem.
yeah,
When they're
I
Exactly.
agree
good,
with
Come
that.
on,
they're
I agree
stop
always
with that.
silent.
silence. Come on.
Everybody's silent.
Of
I could
course.
go
You know,
through a million. Wiggins is.
let me
Oh,
say
do
something.
you know what
Shut
Wiggins
up.
is?
Let me say
Hold
something.
on. Do you know since Wiggins has started, Wiggins has been shooting the three the best on the team, even over Steph? Do you know he's almost 50% from three?
Wiggins, listen, Shadow, just
Hold
as much
on,
as
Dre. He's almost
mm,
50%. Nobody talks about that. Wiggins has probably, I don't even think there was a time that Iguodala played defense the level that Wiggins is playing right now since he's come back and been in the starting lineup. Holding Halliburton to 5 points, holding Laurie Markkinen to fucking 3 points, holding fucking Maxey to 12 points. The things he's doing is impeccable. But because the damage is already done, because people were already fucking thinking in their head, they're thinking this is still December, this is still November, and nobody says nothing good. Like tonight, Clay had a good game, but because some people were stuck on talking shit about Clay for so long, the timeline was quiet today. Nobody
I
says,
look at
and I'm
it.
talking about the Clay fans who were quiet when Wiggins is good. I'm even keel. I just want everybody to do good. When Clay plays good and Wiggins plays good and Looney plays good, we're a better team. So I'm not here on a no agenda thing. But my thing is,
mhm.
if there's a line or no line, then better not shut up their mouth when they're playing good. And
Yeah,
nobody
Exactly.
for
does
sure,
that.
for sure.
Nobody.
Exactly.
I'll
Because
call out
tonight,
everybody. Nobody does
shut
that.
up.
When Wiggins was bad, everybody had him in the trade machines. When Wiggins is good, it's one tweet.
It's silent. It's dead zone. Tonight
And
we
same
we
thing with
saw
Clay. That's
But
all
that's
I'm
the
saying. We're
thing.
all a
I don't
family.
know.
tonight
The
We're all a
reason
hold
why,
fucking
the reason,
unit.
like,
Like, come on,
guys
let's just not
I
pretend like
hold
agree
that,
on.
that
man.
it should
Hold
be like that,
guys
Shadow. The thing is, my
Hold
whole
on,
guys
time,
hold on.
like,
Can I say
Here's
something?
the thing
can I
though,
just say
right? Like,
something?
let's
Let me
for
just
example, right? For
guys, can I just say one thing and then that's it? Because I don't normally ask to come up. But it hurt me tonight when I saw they put out that 1,500 points and this person do 1,500 points for our team. It's nobody else's team. So we have to give him some grace. That's all I'm saying, guys. As a fan base, come on, let's lift up our team and do better. That's all I have to say. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, no problem. No, I always I would want to hear everyone's thoughts. So at the end of the day, it's valuable to hear from everyone. I was just curious what like how people think in terms of the line, because I get it. Some
Dre, I'm
people go
gonna be
too far.
honest. There is no line. I don't even
Yeah.
care what you already know my rule. In wins, let's not kill nobody. In losses, we could say whatever they
Mm-hmm.
want. That's just me
Mm-hmm.
personally. But my line is no
Mm-hmm.
line. But I notice when players play good and you're standing, you gotta giving someone grace is like a man scores 35s and is not a cone on defense and is playing well. You give it up to him. Don't be
No,
silent.
but you know what?
Yeah.
Well, we do
That's it.
that though,
That's all.
right? Like
It's very
not
simple.
everyone,
Yeah,
not
Yo,
everyone.
Shadow,
but that's the thing. My
Yeah.
my whole
Shadow and
timeline was Clay
Andre.
praise. So like in my whole shoot, my a lot of my tweets were Clay praise. So it's like
But Shadow, this is like what we do, right? When a player plays bad, right? I mean, we will let that like we will let us each other know. We will be like, yeah, this is. But when a player plays well, we'll be like, tonight they're doing this differently. I'm happy to see they're playing well on both ends. Let's keep it up. That's the energy I'm
No,
always
I
on.
I get that,
With
but guess what? People
yeah,
are on Clay did 35, but after All Star, he's gonna go back to being selfish, back to shooting us out in games. What
right.
what habitual behavior
My
has
approach
Clay
is this,
shown that that's what he's gonna
and
do?
and you know, and you know what, Shadow, and you know what
The
my
whole
approach is.
season. What are we talking
Let's
about?
take hold on. My approach is this, right? My approach is this. Let's take what Clay did tonight and let's try to, like I said, I literally came into the space and I said, let's try to find a way so he can be a version of this every night forward. And so we're trying to build here. So it's not about like being pessimistic about no, it's more so like, okay, he played well tonight. Let's see what we can take away from the game and then apply going forward so he can continue this. I think that's how we got to frame it. I think that because listen, he hasn't been good this year. And Wiggins to start the year was not good, but guess what? Wiggins changed some stuff up, and now he's been amazing on both ends. And so I'm it's not about agendas with me. It's very simple. Not and I know you're not talking about me. I'm just saying in general. This is I believe people should view it in terms of when they're playing poorly, point it out and explain why. When they're playing well, point it out and explain why, and then hope that they continue to play well and do the things that are allowing them to play well. That's kind of my mindset.
I
But you got to
understand.
remember, this the same fan base. As soon as Draymond was on his way back from suspension, was saying, "Oh, he's going to get suspended again." He's going like it's the same people. So that's why you just got to drown out the noise, honestly, because
No,
people are
You know
going to be
why? You know why,
pessimistic.
though?
I'm just
Like
on
that's
wait.
human. That's how humans are. Like
I'm
it's
just
very
on we're
easy to
focused
tear people
on winning
down.
a chip and getting to the playoffs. I think we should just be a little bit more positive and more
For sure.
optimistic. I think that the trajectory that we are going in, yes, it sucked that we lost last night. But with all due respect, I think we're like 8 out of the last 10, bro.
We've been good. I think there's still issues, but we've been good
Yeah, but
overall for sure, and we need to
we're
continue.
eight we're
Yeah.
8-2. Like
No, 100%. I'm
we're
happy, man.
literally
I'm
eight
happy.
and two.
Overall, I'm happy.
Literally.
No, if you told me this 3 weeks ago when we were 5 games under, like I still think there's things we have to correct, but
No,
ultimately, like
I
we've
do,
put
but
a
I
lot.
think it's defensively. Nothing on the
Yeah,
offensive end
No,
we
yeah.
got to
100%.
correct.
No, yeah, you're
No,
Nothing.
right. You're
100%.
right. Yeah.
It's basically just it's exclusively the defense.
Bro, we get the
But my
defense
thing is
right,
this.
we are runaway NBA champions.
But
Like
I will say this:
runaway.
even tonight, as bad
Can I say
as
something
bad
real
as the
quick?
fourth quarter was,
I
yeah.
haven't been saying anything. So we lost that bullshit game in Memphis, right? Postpone. So that Utah game we made up tonight. Okay, so that's a win, right? So we went Atlanta, we beat Atlanta. Sacramento, we lost by a point. Los
Lakers
Angeles, Los
lost by a
Angeles
point.
went to the line. I don't know how the Lakers shot 40 free throws in a regular season game, but that's neither here nor there. Philly, we beat Philly. Memphis, we beat Memphis. We blew Memphis out, right? And then Atlanta, we lost in OT in Atlanta. Okay.
Hmm.
These are road games, by the way. So let's just put this whole thing into perspective. We won one, two, three, four, five road games, and we won four. Remember? Last season we couldn't win games on the road and all of that stuff. 4 out of the 5 games we won on the road, and we won back to back in Philadelphia and Indiana. Okay, Philadelphia and Indiana, and remember we held Indiana to 109 points. That's a 120 offense. They're one of the greatest offenses ever. Then we went to Utah. Well, no, we beat Phoenix. Played a hell of a game against Phoenix, a hell of a
A
team,
fantastic game
a
against Phoenix.
fantastic team. And then we went to Utah, and then last night was like the one game where we kind of let the foot off the gas, and
And that
things
was the
didn't go
win,
well in
Urkel.
that
That's
game.
what I'm
And he
saying.
went
That
away
was a
from
win.
stuff that wasn't
Bro, I'm
that we
telling
knew
you,
worked.
like there is a world, right, where we have like, mm, we win the Sacramento and the LA game, and we're sitting on like 22 losses, bro. We are right there. You know what I'm saying? If we are on 22 losses, what are we right now? You know what I'm saying?
27 and
27.
25.
Right? So understand something. There's going to be ups and downs in the season. And you see these teams, you see after the All-Star break, I promise you, the game is going to get more physical. And that benefits us because I've been watching it get more and more physical as the weeks have gone on.
That's
Tonight,
true. Yeah.
tonight dudes were just like shooting outlier shit tonight and the pace was insane, right? Like this was a track meet tonight. Typically what happens is that in these type of games when it's a track meet, it 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 really doesn't benefit us when it's a track meet. Last night we were able to control that game for the most part, and then tonight we won a track meet tonight. You know what I'm saying? Not the type of game that I would want, but it is what it is, right? So that's where I'm at, man. I think we're in a really good spot. When I just take 2 steps back and I just look at what we just did and where we were a few weeks ago. Last night, I would have loved to win that game last night because it was kind of a measuring stick game for me personally. But when I take a step back and I'm like, all right, they lost 2 1-point games that could have easily gone the other direction. And then the important part is that they went back to back, Indiana, Philly, and then they won that Phoenix game, right? So I am not, I really wanted that game last night because that is a team that we might see in the playoffs. And I didn't like the overhelping and all of that stuff. But let me say this about that team last night. You see what they were doing is exactly what they're going to be doing in the playoffs, right? So at least we got some film, we got some tape on it, and we know exactly what they're gonna do and how they're gonna operate, right? So, you know,
Kerr made a
minor
comment,
adjustments,
Urkel.
huh?
Kerr made a comment. It's in the Jumbotron. It'll appear in a second.
So let me see here. Let me read this. So Steve Kerr tells reporters in Utah he will stick with Klay Thompson off of the bench for now. Doesn't mean it's permanent. We'll give it a little look and see how it goes. Thompson had 35 points. Kerr said, "Give us some firepower off of the bench." I'll be fine with that. I'm okay
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
I
But if
don't
you
think
find that
I
it works as a long term thing, why would you go away from it? That's my
I
thing
don't
because
think he's
we're
gonna.
building towards
That's
the
all he's saying,
postseason.
bro.
So I'm gonna be honest with
Urkel,
you.
can I ask you something?
Last season is the worst I've ever seen him look. Last season is the worst I ever seen him look in terms of how he looked physically. This isn't anything physical. This is a mental thing with him.
Mental thing.
So
Yeah,
tonight
yeah,
he
yeah.
came out and he came out determined and locked in, right? So this is just a change of scenery, right? So we'll see how he looks, but I'm telling you, there will be a spot where you're going to need him. Like you're not going to do anything in the playoffs, and if it weren't for him tonight, I think we probably lose this game. 100% we lose this game because he did give us some cushion in that third quarter, right? Like timely shooting, and he was just aggressive and he was taking good shots. And what I did notice from him tonight is that, you know, on those pin downs, he was making the right decision, right? So I was looking like anytime two jump at him, I just want him to get rid of the ball. And he did that around 4 or 5 times tonight. So he played pretty good defense tonight. I'm not going to say he played amazing, but nobody played amazing defense tonight, bro. This was a track meet. So here we are.
But if it brings the best out of Clay, bro, it's the best for the Warriors, bro. Because like I said, we cannot win unless the best of Clay is available. Unless the best of Clay shows up, we cannot win. Period. And so if coming off the bench brings out the best of him mentally, you got to stick with it, dog. I agree with y'all. If he has to close, he has to close,
Yeah.
whatever it is. But the best of Clay has to come out, bro.
Yeah,
And this is
and
the best he's looked. This
Urkel.
is the best he's looked in a long time.
bro, I'm
So
If he's
telling
looking
you,
good, let him close. That's fine.
he's
yeah,
not playing well now. He's not playing well now. But this is all upstairs, man. This is all upstairs because he wants to play well, bro. But sometimes you do things and you just press and you just press and you just press. This man's mentality from day one, I'm telling you, because I've been watching him for years. His thing is I will eventually get myself out of this rut. And I'm right. So his thing sometimes just contradicts, but right now, he just needs to take quality shots, don't overdo it, and make the right play. Simple. You can't be doing the same shit that you were doing 10 years ago. You know? None of us can. Right? So we have to evolve. The margins are thinner, and you just have to evolve. Plain and simple. That's how I see it.
Steve Kerr showed anyways he doesn't care who you are. If you're not playing the right way and to close the game, he will put you on the bench.
And thank God, because that's the type of
That's what we've been
backbone I
waiting
need,
for.
man.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
He
it's
will
it's either you're the coach or you're not, bro.
he will do it. Like tonight, Kaminga didn't have the best
Trace
game. Did
played
you see
well.
Kaminga in the closing lineup? No,
Nah,
he didn't
Kian pulled
close.
him. Yeah, yeah.
He pulled him. This off ball defense was fucking atrocious. So he pulled him.
Can we
It
talk
was the
about this
pass, whatever. That's one thing, but
Or
like
wait,
he
this
was
closing
getting cooked in
situation?
corner threes. He wasn't even looking. Like his man was wide open. He wasn't closing out. So he pulled him. Simple. Yeah.
Shadow. So we're 27 and 26, and the 5 seed currently is the Pelicans at 33 and 23, or 33 and 22 or
Mm-hmm.
something. We have to go for the rest of the season based on the current standings to get that 5 seed. We have to go 23 and 6.
Okay, but I personally think
Mm.
I could see the Pelicans go 15 and 15 or 15 and 14, whatever their currently their number of games are. This is what I'm saying. Like everybody's schedule gets harder, but us we have the third hardest schedule, and
What's
we're
their
starting to excel. So like people aren't going to stand pat. Like that's what I'm saying.
Can we talk about what happened in that fourth quarter?
Go ahead, Jim.
So, first of all, I'm sure you guys talked about Clay plenty, so I won't cover that. Obviously, this game, the Warriors. I mean, my God, man, they're back. They're back to what they've been doing all season long, and this is very scary. I'm very glad they got the win, much needed win. I mean, we're off for a week now with the All-Star break, and did not want to lose this game. And one way or another, they found a way to win. Okay. But the process of what they're doing is just Steve. If Steve doesn't figure this out, the Warriors cannot win a championship this year. He has to be able to figure out what is their strongest closing lineup. So I just want to kind of go over, and I wrote a freaking article on this, basically, in my last tweet about what they did wrong to close this game. And obviously, he started with the Dario Trace combination like he did in the first half, except in the second half, in the fourth quarter, Dario is being targeted. And if you target him, it doesn't matter who's out on the floor with him. If he ends up in an ISO situation and somebody's attacking him, going to the paint, that's trouble every time. It doesn't matter if it's Draymond next to him, and it doesn't matter if it's Trace next to him. Nobody can avoid that situation from being stopped, number one. If that happens, you have to be really quick to pull the guy. Okay? Now, you have to look at what guys like Trace, Quinones, and Wiggins were doing from an individual standpoint, because those were the guys that were on the floor, right? With Saric in that fourth quarter. But Dario has some really horrible possessions, both offensively and defensively, kills the team's momentum completely. The Jazz get out to a hot run to start the fourth quarter. The simple move you make there, because the Jazz are still big, the simple move to make there is to just bench Dario. Instead of doing that, Steve punishes everybody around him, benches Trace, benches Wiggins, benches Q. Quinones, he was leading the league in plus minus tonight. He was having a great game. Wiggins was having a great game until Dario tanked it. And Trace was having a great game until Dario tanked it single-handedly. And the next thing you know, Steve goes to an entirely different lineup. Guess which one? The 4-guard lineup. The 4-guard freaking lineup. And he has a habit of doing these crazy things in the fourth quarter where it's like there's just no stability. Now, having said that, the 4-guard lineup held up enough. GP2 was amazing during that stretch. He was really good. He had one bad possession where he fouled a guy shooting a 3 with like less than a second left in the shot clock. I think he's done that like 4 times this season. That's not good. I don't like that's 4 times too many for a guy of his caliber. For a guy of his defensive caliber, I don't expect that from him. It's a bad play. I get it. But Steve has a tendency to sit a guy for that singular mistake and then not play him for the rest of the game. It's really incredibly stupid. You have to allow your elite players to sometimes make a mistake every once in a while. It happens. GP2 at the end of the day was still +7 for the game. You need him in the closing lineup defensively. You can't just bench him for the rest of the game over that one mistake. But that's exactly what he does. And then to close the game, he's closing with the typical lineup, except this time, because Klay was on fire, he chooses to close with Klay instead of Potts. Steph Curry, Klay, Wiggins, Kuminga, Draymond.
No, Kuminga got benched.
No. Before he got benched, that was the lineup. And that lineup is not good enough. Defensively, rebounding-wise, helping-wise, all the fundamental stuff-wise, screening-wise, it's just not good enough to close. I'm going to identify some closing lineups for you guys in a second. But it's not good enough. And then on top of that, Kuminga compounds on the issue with, a terrible clutch play in which they're in transition and he just throws the ball away. And then the other team goes on a transition and then I think they hit a 3. I don't remember. But it was a huge play. And at that point, he needs to come out of the game. The Warriors need better size, better rebounding anyway. So you got to go bigger in that situation. What does Steve do? He goes smaller by bringing in Potts for Kuminga. How does that help their rebounding situation? They're getting out-rebounded left and right. They get stops and they can't get the rebound. Steve still hasn't learned the importance of just basic fundamental rebounding. It's really hard to win a game when you fail at the fundamentals. Okay? And he keeps doing these things.
How is this averaging 6 though? But
the best closing lineups. Here's how I see the best closing lineups for this team at this point. I got about 4 based on the roster I have. Number 1, Curry, GP2, Wiggins, Draymond, and Trace. Is that lineup going to have rebounding issues? I don't think so. Not with Trace and Draymond both in the paint. That, I think, is their best defensive lineup. The second one I can think of, Curry, Wiggins, Kuminga at the 3, Draymond, and Trace. That is a big-ass lineup. Lots of screening power ability. Open up Steph. Let him control the offense. Shut the other team down. No rebounding issues. No defensive issues whatsoever. Number 3, Curry, Wiggins, Kuminga, Guy Santos, and Draymond. It's a bigger lineup. Wiggins at the 2, Kuminga at the 3, Santos 6'8" at the 4, and Draymond at the 5. Much better, more reliable from a rebounding standpoint. No Klay, no Potts. Cannot have them to close. You've got to be stronger defensively to close the game. The last one I can think of, Curry, GP2, Wiggins, Santos, Draymond. 3 forward lineups. Shore up your rebounding. The problem with the 3 forward lineup that they're doing right now is that Wiggins, Kuminga, Draymond, that's not good enough. Because of the limitations of Kuminga. Kuminga is an offensive force. Defensively, he still has work to do. And the Warriors can't be throwing games just in order to play him. There are times where you just can't play him, and that's okay. They had those things with Jordan Poole as well when they had him, and he was like 50, 40, 90. They still had to sit his ass down because he's not good enough defensively. And then last year, he wasn't good enough, and he was closing, and he was killing the team. These are things that you cannot do. You need powerful defensive lineups to close games. Come playoffs, you run this lineup, this Wiggins, Kuminga, Draymond lineup in the playoffs, you're going to get cooked. You're going to lose. It's not good enough. So when CP3 comes back, forget about closing the game with him. Forget about mostly closing the game with Clay. Forget about closing the game with Pods. Now you can do some offensive, defensive rotations. You can do some, substitutions like that. Like whatever you need to do to, if the offense is not working well enough, then make a switch here and there between like GP2. But otherwise, these are the lineups that they have to run to. You saw what happened tonight. This is a disaster. They should have lost this game. It's a miracle that they didn't lose this game. To the final second, they can't grab a fucking rebound. Thank God that John Collins was a disaster, choked in the most important time of the game, and throws the ball into the stands.
Thank God.
If you had a more clutch guy than that, Warriors would have been fucked. Just like they were fucked against the Clippers when they couldn't grab that final rebound. I think it was Russell Westbrook who grabbed that offensive rebound after the Warriors got to stop because they were too small. These things cannot happen. And it all starts with freaking Dario Saric minutes, bro. Dario Saric minutes, going with lineups that are too small. Like, just stop it, bro. Please, for the love of God, this is the most toxic situation I've ever seen. A veteran minimum player, a guy who gets $2 million, keeps forcing himself into the lineup. And then it's costing everybody else. It's insane, bro. This shit needs to get fixed up.
I'm at the point where TJD should take all of Sarge and Kevon Looney's minutes because Kevon Looney's unplayable. Like, Kevon Looney is unplayable. Like, every time he pump fakes and he gets off the ground, I just laugh.
Listen.
I just start laughing.
Listen.
It's ridiculous.
Walker Kessler has like an 8-foot wingspan, bro. Kevon Looney has no chance finishing over Walker Kessler.
Pump fake Peter.
He just has no chance to finish. But this game tonight, and this is kind of where Kerr just like crowbars Looney into the lineup. Because in one sense he'll tell you like, hey, by the way, the game is a little bit faster, Looney, this, that, and the other, right? But Looney shouldn't even have played tonight. You know what I'm saying? Looney probably shouldn't have played tonight because he's right. This is a fast-paced game. And watching Looney run up the court, man, it is like, especially in a game like this where Utah is just in a track meet, but here's the other thing too. We have to consider the fact that this was a track meet tonight. It was an all-out sprint tonight. And it's just one of those things, man. So everything
Yo,
else,
Urkel.
yeah.
Urkel and Shadow and Dre, you guys, I just have to ask you, everything that I just said, do you foresee Steve Kerr being able to figure this out by playoffs?
Why not?
Do you foresee him running those lineups?
Of course, he's always kind of figured it out. I mean,
yeah, he's gonna run those lineups, but the thing about it is I'm not very optimistic on the 4-guard thing. That's gonna happen. For some reason, he just likes it. For some reason, I don't know. Maybe he's like I think they're doing something new. You see where they're pushing the ball, the transition stuff. I think that's working like exceptional on the offensive end, but then on the defensive end, they get compromised. This is actually embarrassing, man. 277 over, like this is crazy, fam.
Bro, when their defense breaks down, they can't score
crazy.
either. When their defense breaks down, they can't score either. They scored 20 points in the fourth quarter. Come on, man.
So I'm currently watching the highlights, the last few minutes of the game, and our defense got picked apart in the fourth quarter. Like, Utah kind of figured us out badly.
Yeah, it's a second half of a back-to-back. It is what it is. Now let's do this. Let's transition to playback.tv/Space Gang. And I'm curious to see, what Kerr, Clay, and all the guys had to say tonight. So again, playback.tv/Space Gang, and we can continue this conversation over there. See y'all over there.